Welcome back to Fudge Muppet, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Scott, and today I have something incredibly exciting to show you. The Beyond Skyrim projects have been working hard for the many years since Skyrim's release to deliver on a true expansion of the 4th era Tamriel, and today I am beyond ecstatic to bring you a little taste of what's to come in the Three Kingdoms project. Time for a trek into the lands of the Bretons, High Rock. And later we'll have a little dalliance off the coast of Hammerfell, but what better place to start our exploration than in Johanna, where both the familiar and foreign clash. Johanna is a city of conflict. Nord or Breton, Jarl or King, Hold or Kingdom, this gem of a city perched atop the snowy ridges has a complicated history to say the least. Over 4,000 years ago, the king of Skyrim, Vraga the Gifted, began an ambitious series of conquests which expanded the Nordic domain into Morrowind, Cyrodiil, and High Rock. And what use is conquered land if you do not intend to use it? And use it they did. Nordic settlements emerged all over the Western Reach, and naturally the settlements closest to Skyrim as we know it today were able to hold on to their Nordic heritage in spite of who is ruling. Johanna has changed hands many times, Nords, Dureni, Bretons. The kingdom has a colourful history, and one that very much informs the politics of the day. The current king, Fenrold Yavinson, rules and espouses his Nordic ancestry in order to solidify his control of the divided populace, but such espousals fall on the many deaf ears of the true Nords, who claim he is unfit to rule this lost hold of Skyrim. Johanna needs a Jarl, not a king. On the other hand, it is a city of artists and craftspeople who are excited about the king's willingness to engage in broader Bretic politics, improving relations and enriching the kingdom, yet relations with their neighbours in Faerun are still difficult. Further west from Johanna lies the kingdom of Faerun, ruled by King Rainwald. Sea fogs roll in and obscure entrances to many winding alleyways from where thieves spring out and snatch merchants' jewels. A London-esque city dripping with slimy smugglers, conniving charlatans, and every variety of ill-willed illicit activity partaker. It is a hive of scum and villainy, and that is the least of its problems. Faerun has an uncomfortable past. It's a place of many brutalities. Long ago, it was a Dureni outpost where chattels of human slaves were kept and traded amongst their elven peers of the world, and after that, Faerun had been an orcish stronghold, and well, we know what a violent bunch they can be. It is Faerun's bloody and grim history that has endowed the city with a plague of ghosts and spectres, unsatisfied spirits of orcs and Bretons past who have experienced the cruelest of fates. But ghost sightings are sporadic, and even the citizenry may chalk such sightings to be superstitious rumours or the tellings of conmen. However, there is a very real and tangible threat for the people of High Rock. Giant bats swell the skies above, and in the night their dripping fangs sink their teeth into farmers and stray wanderers. Cattle and sheep are stolen, and their corpses left drained of all their blood, baking in the fields under the morning sun. These beasts come from the black wastes, a stretch of scarred land to the west, the result of a magical blight that rots from within, slowly stretching its influence beyond its borders. And let me tell you, the dangers do not stop here. Goblins, ghouls and ghosts, wormmouths and snow wolves, and if you're out for a moonlight stroll and you hear piggish squeals and shrieks, do not assume this is a mere wild pig. You are to turn home immediately, because otherwise you may find yourself tusk-gored and stamped by a spiny-furred werb, or your guts rummaged through as a pig would trash. But all is not a life of fear for the common man. There are those who fight for them, those who protect them. Knightly orders are commonplace in High Rock, and not are also as noble as they appear, but here in the realms of the East, the host of the Iceblades fight any and all who would harm the people of these kingdoms. Long ago, there were bands of knights who cleared the way for people to set down roots and allowed for villages and towns to flourish. Many such places owe their existence to the Iceblades, and yet this host of knights does not grow fat and comfy in manor houses. Their mission lies outside the bounds of civilization, spending their times in camps in the wilderness, protecting those who would otherwise not survive the dangers of the wild. They are the wall that stands between the soft, civilized folk and the monstrous brigands and beasts. Yet bravery and grit cannot defeat all. Rumors circulate about the resurgence of shadow magic, an obscure and powerful form of magic pioneered by Azra Nightwielder, the infamous mage of the Third Era, who discovered that shadow was not simply an absence of light, but a reflection of possible worlds created by forces in conflict. If one can learn to manipulate such shadows, then one can potentially affect the forces creating said shadow. In the hands of the wrong people, I will say no more. On that somber note, it's time for a holiday. Somewhere warmer. Let's get the spirits up. Let us board a ship with Eltheric Expeditions and head to the Abacian Isles off the coast of Hammerfell. These are places steeped in rich culture and ancient traditions. The old tongue of Yakuta is spoken here, which is a direct result of their intimate connection to their own histories. Most here are the proud descendants of the Regada, the warrior wave that cleared a path for their people and gave them a new home in Hammerfell. Kespar is home to the descendants of warriors who cleared the islands of goblins, the large first era kind, not the sniveling sewer trotters of today. And today upon it lies the village of Chora, once a larger city reduced to its current state by isolation and waning importance. Tiber Septim's conquests made the island a home of the dishonorably discharged, and they founded Fort Limenos on the site of an old Yoku tower. The empire has been gone for some time now, and the bones of the old fort exist only as a symbol of shame for the people of Chora, who themselves are long past their glory days. Once, long ago, they had primed the neighboring island of Hern to receive the coming leadership of the Natutambu, the Yokudan nobility. And when they arrived on Hern after the warrior wave, they built Inoherna, a massive structure made in the traditional Yoku style, and this was the acting capital until Hammerfell itself was conquered. Then the nobility left and went to the mainland, making new palaces and monuments to their people. However, the people of Hern, known in their native tongue as Tomba du Hern, were sworn by oath to never set foot off the island, lest the Regada need it once more. This ancient pact has lasted for thousands of years and left the island bound to a tradition of disrepair and stagnation. The great Inoherna is in ruin, and the only village of Ekoherna is without enough people to elect a new village chief according to their customs, and so it is a land without leadership. Many of the younger Redguards still here must wrestle with their devotion to an ancient pact and the possibility of a new and vibrant life elsewhere. Between these two isles and Strosmakai are a series of tiny, dusty islands known as the Chain, places populated by brigands, pirates, and necromancers, and all of the sort who seek sanctuary in a place outside the purview of the legally inclined. You will have a hard time convincing a ferryman to take you here, but Strosmakai, on the other hand, well, it's a kingdom in its own right, who has asserted its jurisdiction over the islands of Hern and Kespar. Strosguards patrol these islands, and criminals are prosecuted according to Strosmakai's laws. There is much to uncover in these new lands, and the Three Kingdoms project has come far, but has much further to come, and if you desire to put your own contributions forward, you can head to beyondskyrim.org/join and see where your skills may be able to assist the project. I hope you enjoyed a taste of the setting and lore, and I hope you are getting excited, and if you do want to see even more, well, then stay tuned. The Creation ModCon is happening on the 13th and 14th of August, a big virtual expo for many modding projects, and the Beyond Skyrim teams are going to be there with much more to show off, so do be sure to keep an eye out for that. Links are in the description. The Beyond Skyrim project is one that we are keenly interested in, and we love seeing the community expand the world of 4th Era Tamriel, so expect us to cover any new releases for the projects, so do be sure to subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed. My name is Scott from Fudge Muppet. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back to nerd out with you in the next one.